Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalai Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Adigaura Bhakta Vranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, you are welcome for continuity of our Bhakti Vaibhava study of Srimada Bhagvatam. Third canto, we are discussing chapter 10. The chapter 10 has the different 10 types of creation. So first creation is, what is the first creation? What is the first verse of this 10th chapter? First creation is? Huh? Yes? Bodies of the living entities. So after Brahma was blessed by Garbhodakshaya Vishnu and instructed him, then Brahma started meditating with Bhakti Yoga, and there was so much water of devastation and winds because he was very strong in his sadhana, so he could overcome those obstacles. So even before creation he has a trouble. So, and Srila Prabhupada said in devotional service, always there are difficulties and there is a war between the material energy and the practicing devotee. If the devotee is weak, he will succumb to the influence of Maya. But Brahma was strong enough. So this is the first section. And then the creation is 3 types of annihilations and 6 types of primary creation, which is called Prakritik. This is Prakritik, primary creation. This is the creation of, say, Pradhan and everything which is coming through Pradhan, because this is Prakriti, it's a mool Prakriti, so it's called Prakritik. The other one is to manipulate the Prakriti, that's called Vaikarik. So Prakritik and Vaikarik. So three types of annihilation are there's a Kal, Dravya and Guna. This is the language used here. Kal, Dravya and Guna. Kal is due to time. Due to time, devastation of the universe, end of Brahma's life. So this is Mahapralaya, at the end of Brahma's 100 years. The other is Dravya. Dravya means the material elements. This is started by fire of the Sankarshan and end of the Brahma's day. So this is called Naimitic Pralaya. Naimitic means regular. Naimitic Pralaya. And third is of the Guna, which means the mode of material nature which affect the life of an individual. It means from the birth to the death. This is Nitya Pralaya. This is called Nitya technically. So Nitya, Naimitic and Maha. So the different names for this is in this section Kala, Dravya and Guna. Okay? So three type of annihilation. Then there are 6 types of primary creation. What is the first one called? Mahatattva. So from where Mahatattva is coming? Pradhan. So Pradhan is a total material energy before the process of creation. It is like the things which are kept in godown for some time. When you have some festival, you bring those out. So Pradhan is like something which is in reserve, is not in use. But when there is a time of creation, this Pradhan is brought out. The other analogy is given, Pradhan is like a baby in the womb. And the Mahatattva is like baby born. So this is another analogy. I think once I was giving class in Juhu, and or this Maharaj who has done much more work on the this geography and 5th canto analogy, Danvi Maharaj, he gave this analogy. He said Pradhan is in the womb and Mahatattva is child born. So when Mahatattva is created, how it is created? From the Pradhan. By the influence of the time, Kal, which agitate the equilibrium of 3 gunas. What else is with this? Not here, somewhere else. You must have done, I think, in 3rd canto earlier. Along with, first is the glance of Lord Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Then impregnated with the living entities. Then Kal, or the time factor. Then the process starts. Now the second creation is false ego, Ahankar. This false ego is created from where? Mahatattva. Mahatattva. And this false ego is in 3. False ego in mode of goodness, false ego in mode of passion, and false ego in mode of ignorance. So this false ego, material, what it creates? Material ingredients, Dravya. It leads to the material knowledge, which means knowledge acquiring senses. And then it leads to the Dravya, Devatas, which control the different senses, and in material activities, which means the working senses. So ultimately, through the three types of ego, all three types ego together. This is three type ego in one place. What is created? Panchabhuta, five material elements: earth, water, fire. Five knowledge acquiring senses: eye, ears, nose, tongue, and the skin. Five working senses: the hand, legs, tongue, and the two genital organs and excreting organs. So this is and also so this is what is creation by the three types of false ego. Also mind is created. Now the next creation is tanmatra, sense objects. Tanmatra means sense object: touch, sound, form. So these, when they are formed, when they manifest, they give rise to the five elements. Tanmatra. So earth has what type of tanmatra is in the sky? Sound. And then the next comes the air, which has two: touch and sound. Then comes fire, which has three, and form. And then comes water, which has four. What is the fourth one? Taste. And then is the earth, which has smell, and four others. All five are in earth, right? So this is the creation like that, right? Now this is tanmatra, dravya, which gives rise to five grass elements. They give rise to so this is creation is from subtle to the grass. It's coming from subtle to grass. Then there's a creation of indriya, senses, knowledge acquiring senses, and so this is according to this description. But when you go in real creation, then which is mode of goodness give rise to the knowledge acquiring mind, and mode of patience give rise to the some other, and mode of ignorance give rise to the some other. So this is a different description, right? You had that creation somewhere earlier in third canto. So then there is a creation of the Deva, demigods, presiding over different senses. At least that you just have a brainstorming which demigod control which sense. Eyes, sun god, right? Ears, Ashwani Kumar. Then tongue, Varuna.
Two are there. One is Varuna for taste and one is for speech.
Fire. And nose, Grana. Ashwani Kumar are for ears. Yeah. Nose. Huh? Digad. Digad. Ears as Digad. And nose, Ashwani Kumar. And the arms,
Feet Upendra. Legs
Upendra. So these are the controlling or presiding demigods. This is in second canto actually. In third canto and second canto also there is some description how the demigods say Adi Devik, Adi Bhotik and Adhyatmik. There were three different type of way to describe it. So now the last is creation of ignorance. Creation of ignorance Is this ignorance, right?
Yes.
Avidya, which have five type of avidya. So here something you just see, and then we go to the, because in these two charts this chapter is over. So this is the this Maya or material energy. It has three parts. This is nice purport by Chakravarti Pad. He says the Maya has three parts. One is Mahatattva, one is Avidya, and other is Vidya. The three things of Maya. So this Mahatattva give rise to the real creation. Mahatattva give rise to the real five elements, everything, which is real creation. And then Avidya is a false creation, is illusion, part of the Maya, which has five: Avidya, Rag, Dvesh, Asmita, and Abhinivesh. These same five words has a similar equivalent, which will be the next chapter, chapter 11. Tamasara, Andha Tamasara, these are five type of ignorance created by Brahma. Very exactly same. In exactly same are the different names these are the names from Patanjali Yoga Shastra, Avidya, Asmita, and other. And there is a similar name for this. So there are five different, it's called aspect of ignorance or avidya. And then there's a vidya. And this vidya counteract avidya. So this vidya is also the production of the Maya or material energy. So it is three parts. Mahatattva, Avidya, and Vidya. So this is a very nice purport of Chakravarti Pad. You can find in this footnote, in these. So Srila Prabhupada writes here, definition of the demigod and demon from the Padma Purana. This is the verse. Can you see the highlighted? Vishnu Bhakta Smrto Devaha Asura Tad Vipriyaha. This is the definition of the Deva are the Vishnu Bhakta, demigod Sura, and Asura are opposite to death. It means who are against Vishnu. So Vaishnavas are, material nature is avidya, ignorance. But the devotees of Lord are pure, they are saved from ignorance because of the mercy of the Lord. So it's the same energy of the Lord which can act as a Mahamaya or Yoga Maya. For the conditioned souls, this acts as a Mahamaya. For the liberated souls, it acts as a Yoga Maya. Both is actually bewildering. Both are bewildering. But the Yoga Maya bewildered for the pastime of Lord. And Mahamaya bewildered to keep us separate from the Lord, away from the Lord. So same energy, Prabhupada used to give example, same electricity, a good engineer can use it for cooling or heating. So same energy act for devotees differently and for the non-devotees differently. So this is, see here, the meaning of the Maya has three conditions: Pradhan, Avidya, and Vidya. This is what I was just said. This is the purport. The meaning of the Maya has three conditions: Pradhan, Avidya, and Vidya. By Pradhan, the elements from Mahatattva to earth are created. These are real creations by which the aggregate sameshti And the individual bodies, Vyashti. Sameshti means aggregate of the whole. And the Vyashti means one person. Bodies of the universe and body of the individual are made by real Pradhan manifesting from Mahat Tattva to earth. Now, these are not, then by avidya which bewilder the jiva, 5 types of ignorance, avidya, asmita, rag, dvesh, abhinvesh are created. These are not real. It's illusion. The world composed of real and unreal is produced by Pradhan and Avidya. By Vidya, knowledge which destroys the 5 types of ignorance is created. This will be explained later. This knowledge is Vidya is also created. So this is the creation of the avidya, and this is now we are going to the next verse. This is the 4 types of secondary creation called Vaikarik, or creation by Brahma. This is the creation by Brahma, which is Visarga. And what are these 4 types? Number 1 is immovable, and they are plants. Now, there are 2 aspects. One is characteristics, and other is the different varieties. Characteristics and varieties. These verses from 18 to 29, this whole section is simply this information. So one is immovable, which are trees. Now there are 3 characteristics of this, 4 characteristics of the immovable creation. What are these 4? Consciousness is very little. Meager consciousness, number 1. Number 2, they take their nutrition from below up. From water comes from earth goes, so they take nutrition from below up. 2. And number 3, feel pain when cut. So there is a some sensation of pain, touch. And number 4 is unlimited varieties. So there are unlimited varieties. So these are the characteristics of immovability. Now these trees are different types. Vanaspati, their name is Vanaspati, Aushadhi, and Lata. So these are the technical name in Sanskrit, which are the equivalent given by translation by Srila Prabhupada. So these are in the verses. So what is the first one? You can read from here. Vanaspati. What is Vanaspati? Without?
Flowers and having fruits.
There's no flowers, only fruits. So they are called Vanaspati. Next is Aushadhi, which is annual plants. Means they grow, they give some fruits and then they die. Like we have all these weeds and all crops, they are just annual plant. Once in a year they grow. That's called Aushadhi. And then the third one is Lata, creepers. And because what is the characteristic of creeper? They need support. They need support. So this is the third. And the fourth is Takshara, which means bamboo and hollow plants like bamboo and others. Okay. And then the last one is not last but one. What is it?
No support needed.
Vruddha.
Stiff trunk.
They have their own trunk. They don't need support. This type of plant. And the last one is Durmaha. Give fruits through flowers. Durmaha. trees, sometimes they are called durma. These are all mangoes, all they have first flower and then comes fruit. So durma. So these are the first creation of non-moving. And then this is creation of
Lower species animals.
lower species of life. And this lower species of life, what are the characteristics? Again, four. They have consciousness, develop consciousness, a good consciousness, right? They are, what is the first one?
Horizontal nourishment.
Their feeding is the horizontal. So right now you just take it this plant upward, animal horizontal, man vertical, from above down. This is what the human will come next. So this is the way they take their nutrition. So this is number one is horizontal. Number two, no concept of future for what? Animals. They don't know what is future. They never keep the things for next day. Except in the camel. Camel keep the things in the stomach for some time. Only exception is this. Other they don't know next day. So they don't know their future. And next one.
Preoccupied with eating and sleeping.
So mostly they have these four propensities, animals. They don't know. They only know where we sleep, where we eat. Right? This is mostly when the people, our devotees go for yatras. They ask, where is my room and where is prasad? They never ask what sight we will see and where is the class. They never ask. I have never seen. They only ask two things, where is my room and what time is prasad? So this propensity should be changed. It's animalistic. And the last one is understand their needs by smell. Usually dog and cat, and they just smell and find out where are the things. And then what are the varieties? 28 types. So these 28 types are according to based on hooves. 2 hooves, 1 hooves, no hooves. And then 5 claws. And there's a list of all these animals there. You can just see 2 hooves, 1 hoof, 5, what's called panja. Huh? So 2 hooves, 1 hoof, 5 claws, and last is birds. Those which are on land and those which are on the birds in the land, birds in the sky. Sky? And aquatics, birds and aquatics. And there's also a little description. The alligator is in the, so here, and the one other one is in the water. So this is little something common sense things what are created. And the fourth creation is of the human beings. Characteristics: downward nutrition, passionate, dedicated to the work, think themselves happy even in distress, only one time. This is human beings. And then the last creation is demigods. And what are the characteristics of the demigods? Only types. Oh, Gandharva, Apsara, even this demons, Rakshasas, Yakshas. Only last one you see, what is it? Kim Purusha, etc. are Kim Purusha. So only one creation which is called both Vaikaric and Prakritik. And that is of the Kumara. Kumar. Is it okay? Now if we go through the verses, we can go quickly. So verse 8. Yes, Prabhu, your hand is up. Is that what?
Upward nourishment, downward nourishment, and horizontal.
See, trees get their nourishment from earth, it goes up. from down up. The animal, because they are usually on four legs, so they eat and it goes horizontally in their body. We human beings have two legs, so we eat and it goes down vertically. So this is vertical, horizontal, and from below up. Below up, from up down. That's a good example. Animals have four legs, so they don't need to stand. So they walk. The scooter has two wheels, so it needs a stand. Cycle has two wheels, it needs a stand. Human being has two legs, human beings. It needs stand up satsang. Without that it will fall. You need definitely satsang, otherwise you will fall. Because you, yes?
Earlier chapter we read that there are 4 lakh species of human beings.
One is
4 lakh species of 400,000 species of human beings. But here it says only one type.
one category, it's called human beings. One category.
How do we distinguish species from types?
Sorry, why would we distinguish?
Like how do we distinguish species as a definition from types?
Here in description there are the 2-3 things are clubbed as a one, 28, when we count 28 down the line, that there are some 3-4 are clubbed in a one type. So it's like a human being is a one type of creation, and it has a different, what Srila Prabhupada writes is, on different planets, the human being have a different, different lifespan. They have different characteristics, different, rules and regulation for them. So there are human beings all over, and their body is according to the planet on which that the human being is. So this is classified like that. 400,000 species of the human beings, 4 lakh. But here as a creation by Brahma, human being is one, as a one type. So yes, Prabhupada's purport. Avidya, we have finished. Now this is the verse. If you want, we can go through the verses, otherwise this is what everything is. This says, all above our natural creation by external energy of the Lord. It means the Prakritik. Now here from about the creation by Brahma, Vaikritik, who is an incarnation of mode of passion, means he is governing mode of passion. And who in the matter of creation has brain like that of personality of Godhead. It means he is Vidata, is intelligent. Buddhi, which one word we have used, he has aggregate of intelligence, Brahma. Now the next verse. Chakravarti Pad writes, these 6 were generated from Maya Shakti, means which? The Prakritik from Maya Shakti. 6, which we discussed first, Pradhan, Ankar, Dravya, then senses, then Devatas. It is from Maya Shakti. They are called Prakritaha. And now describe the secondary creation, Vaikritan. Prakritaha Vaikritan, arising from Brahma. From Brahma, representing all the universe elements, Samashti Vrat. Brahma representing all the universal elements, Samashti Vrat. Brahma is Samashti Vrat. Brahma has the Supreme Lord in his intelligence, Medasaha. So now the next verse. The 7th creation is that of immovable entities, which are of 6 kinds. The fruit trees without flowers, this we have to Oshadi, and this we have seen this, okay? Next, Srila Prabhupada writes, among the creation of immovable and moving creatures of the universe, the first Mukhya creation is that of the immovable living beings. Tushtut San at one place. What is the meaning of Vanaspati and all this we have discussed there. Now the next verse says, all the immovable trees and plants seek their sustenance upward from below up. They are almost unconscious but have feeling of pain. They are manifested in very. This is the 4 characteristic of the immovable, right? They spread the nourishment upward. They feel pain. Okay, next verse. The eighth creation is that of the lower species of life. They are of different varieties, numbering 28. They are all extensively foolish and ignorant. They are foolish and ignorant because their consciousness is very low. They are only focusing on 4 things. Where is the food and where is to sleep, right? They know they are desirable by smell but are unable to remember anything within the heart. It means they don't know future. They cannot remember. So this is what their characteristic of lower animals or lower species. 8th, nourishes horizontally, no concept of future, preoccupied by basic needs. This is the summary of the verse. Now Srila Prabhupada's purport.
He had mentioned they cannot remember anything. Is about future or they cannot really remember anything?
This is what Chakravarti says, concept of future. Because they are so ignorant, the animals, they are born and after some time they don't recognize their mother, father, they just have different type of life. Follow. Srila Prabhupada writes, this is the verse. Whole ones in the Vedas, the symptom of lower animals are described as follows. So these are the characteristics of the lower animals. What are they? Lower animals have knowledge only of their hunger and thirst. They have no acquired knowledge, no vision. Their behavior exhibits no dependence on formalities. They never wear cloth, right? Extensively ignorant. They can know their desirable things by smell, and by such intelligence only can they understand what is favorable and what is unfavorable. Their knowledge is concerned only with the eating and sleeping. Therefore, why? Because they need only eat and sleep. Therefore, the most ferocious lower animals like tigers can be tamed simply by regularly supplying meal and accommodation for sleeping. Only snakes cannot be tamed by such an arrangement. This is Prabhupada's comment. They are devoid of knowledge of the tomorrow. This is future. Avidha. Chakravarti. They are fixed in obtaining food only. They understand what they want by smell. They are devoid of lengthy deliberation or the meager power of reflection. This is the Shruti, what Prabhupada quoted, same verse quoted here. Among the animals there is only knowledge of eating and same thing. Bhuri tamha can also mean that they have great anger. Bhuri tamasa. Grahana jaha hrdi can mean that they experience only objects dear to their heart. They are aware of eating and sleeping. This is over. Next verse 22. The purest vidra of the lower animals, the cow, goat, buffalo, Krishna, stag, hog, gavaya, animals and deer, lamb and camel all have cloven hooves too. This is one group. The next group has one. Starting with Khara. Horse, mule, ash, Gaurava, Sharabha, Bisan and the wild cows all have only one hoof. Now you may hear from me about the animals who have 5 nails. This is claw. What are these 5 class? The dog, jackal, tiger, fox, there's a list of all these, okay? There's no need to read. Knowing the Panchanakha are the animal having 5 nails. Next verse says, 4 type of secondary creation by Brahma, Visarga are Vaikarita. So this verse says, the heron, vulture, cranes, hawk, these are with the 5 class, okay? Next. Oh, here this the nine animals listed have clone hooves. This is the first verse. Clone hooves. Avina means sheep. The animals from donkey to chamaris do not have cloven hooves. The 12 animals from dog to lizard have 5 nails. The land-dwelling animals totally 27. Makaras and others are aquatics. The birds from the heron to the peacocks are land-dwelling animal birds. Those from the swan to chakravak are the aquatic birds. The remaining ones are land-dwelling birds. All the fishes are classed as one. Now lakhani jalja, but it's classed as one. Among the 28 varieties, including various types of deer such as Uru, Krishna and Gaura, which should be taken as a one variety. Other animals will fall within these classes. The 26th verse. The creation of the human being who are of one species only and who stock their eatable in the belly is the 9th in the rotation. In the human race, the mode of passion is very prominent. Humans are always busy in midst of miserable life, but they think themselves happy in all respects. Srila Prabhupada writes, the human beings is more passionate than animals in their regulation of sexual life. Animal has a seasonal, but human is irregular. Human beings are endowed with higher advanced stage of consciousness for getting relief from the existence of material miseries, but due to their ignorance, he thinks that his higher consciousness is meant for advancing in material comfort of life. Thus, his intelligence is misused in animal propensities, eating, sleeping, defending, and mating, instead of a spiritual realization. Advancing in material comfort, the human beings put himself into more miserable condition. But illusioned by the material energy, he always thinks himself happy, even while in the midst of misery. Such a misery of the human life is distinct from the natural, comfortable life enjoyed even by animals. So, Chakravarti Pad said, 9th creation consists of being in which the food is distributed downward. The qualities are described starting with the prominence of the rajas. Now, verse 27. The good Vidura, these last 3 creation and the creation of the demigod, the 10th creation, are Vaikrita creation, which are different from the previously described Prakrita, natural creation. The appearance of the Kumara is both. Alright? So 10 type creation, you remember? Creation of Devata from Ahankar in Sattva, Vaikarika. The mode of ignorance in the false ego and mode of goodness, the demigods are created. So this was described in the creation originating from Kratik. We have discussed this right now. The Devatas are therefore classed as Prakritik. Prakrit. According, a creation of the Devatas also occur in the creation made by Brahma, later called Vaikarik or secondary. listed in the next verse. The creation of the Kumara is both Prakrit and Vaikrit. Seeing the sinful nature of this creation, Brahma was not satisfied with himself. He again created out creation by mind, purified with meditation on the Lord. 3:12:3. They are said to be both Prakritic and Vaikrit because of Brahma's meditation on the Lord for Kumara. Because he meditated on Lord, therefore they are Prakritic. Because he created, therefore they are Vaikrit. This is in the 12th chapter. We'll reach there today. They are generated both by Brahma, Vaikrita, and from the Lord, Prakritik. Now, the last two verses. The creation of the demigods is of 8 varieties. Demigods, the forefathers Pitra, Asuras and demons, Gandharva, Apsara and angels in one category, Yaksha and Rakshasa one category, Siddha, Charana, Vidyadhar one category, the Bhuta, Preta and Pisacha and superhuman beings, celestial singers, Gandharva, etc. All are created Brahma, the creator of the universe. Now, Srila Prabhupada writes, Siddhas in Bhagavatam, inhabitants of Siddhalok are resident travel in space without vehicle. At their mere will, they can pass from one planet to another without difficulty. Therefore, in upper planets, the inhabitants are far superior to the inhabitant of this planet in all matters of art, culture, and science, since they possess brains superior to those of human beings. The spirits and jinns mentioned in this connection are also counted among the demigods because they are able to perform uncommon functions not possible for men. There are 8 types of being and devatas, it's the same thing almost. Now the last verse. Ata param pravakshami vansham manvantram cha evam raja puluttaha srishta kalpadishva. Now the question, this is something Vidur is saying. Now I shall describe the descendant of Manu, the creator, Brahma, as the incarnation of the patient mode of personality of Godhead, create the universal affairs with unfailing desires in every millennium by the force of Lord's energy. The cosmic manifestation is the expansion of one of the many energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The creator and creator are both emanation of the same. Creation and creator. Creation is material energy, creator is Brahma. Both are coming from the Supreme Lord. It is stated at the beginning of the Bhagavatam, Janmadi Asya Yata. Principle is Janmadi Asya Yata. Atma Bhu Hari means Supreme Lord become Brahma sometime. So this is our chapter is over. Now the next chapter. Calculation of the time from the atom.
We heard that Vishnu Chakravarti talked about the definition of Deva and Asura. Deva means Vishnu. And like in 28 also, also it mentioned about different types of Deva, like Deva, Sarga, just with 8 types of Deva. And in that also comes the demons and Pitrus and all that. So there's a contract.
This is from the point of creation they are coming because they have extraordinary power than the human beings. But then you classify the demigods which are favorable to Vishnu and which are not favorable to Vishnu. So among these groups, those who are favorable to Vishnu, they are called Sura, and generally they are Adityas. And the Daityas and the Asuras, they are against Vishnu. So this is a further classification according to their following Vishnu or not following Vishnu. So Brahma created them as a one group, but they have no same characteristics. But they are in this group because they are more powerful than human beings. Therefore, they are only separated from human beings. The human beings, so creation of the human beings and that which is higher than human beings. So this is the category like that. But among human beings, some are Vaishnavas, some are not Vaishnavas. Similarly, among the demigods, some are Vaishnava, some are not Vaishnava. It's like that. So, the other criteria for this classification is those in mode of goodness are more like the divine, the mode of passion and ignorance, they are demonic, generally asura. This is the second criterion. And the most important criteria from Bhagavad Gita is those who follow the rules and regulation of scripture are divine, and those who are against the rules and regulation of scripture, they are demonic. This is the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So these are three characteristics. We can have more. If there are three are there.
So यहाँ पे like vibhudhas are there. Vibhudha, one of the 8 types of deva is called vibhudha. This is vibhudhas are also suras. Vibhudha. So out of these 8 types of deva, whatever is mentioned here.
You means what? We should go to the verse.
Behind the verse also. Verse 28. Here.
Celestial of 8 times. Celestial ancestors, demons, Gandharvas, divine apsaras, siddhas, yakshas, rakshasas, charanas. Oh Shri Vidurji, the creation of this universe made these 10 type of creation: Bhuta, Preta, Pishacha, Vidyadhara and Kinnaras. So this is the list of the. So let's go to the verse here, exact words. Deva Sargas Cha Ashtavido. Okay. Vibudhya, Vishesh Buddhi. Vibudhya means special intelligence. Creation of, say, this is a Vibudhya process, the demigods, when they are especially intelligent. Vibudhya.
So are there the suras?
Huh?
Are these vibhudhas or the demigods are the suras?
Suras, they are suras. Vibudhyas are suras. Then Pitraha, forefathers. Asuraha, demons. Asura, not Sura. Gandharva, expert in artistic in the higher planets. Apsaras, angels. Siddhas, persons who are perfect in mystic power. Yaksha, the super protectors, Yaksha and Raksha. Huh? And Rakshasas, giants. Charanas, the celestial singers. Bhuta, jinn. Preta, evil spirit. Pishacha, attendant spirits. Vidyadhara. So these are, Prabhupada has given some vocabulary to the English language which is not in the dictionary. So this is the next chapter we are starting. This will go also very quickly because, yes, 3 hands are up. Why? Kinnara, Kim Purusha. This is etc. It says and others. So and others, the Acharya have said this is the list, more coming in that. Kim Purusha and Kinnara.
If we consider the modern science, the way animals, human beings are
Hare Krishna, microphone? We can. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, if we consider the modern science, right, the way zoology works and amphibians, reptiles, mammals. So in mammals, both animals and human beings are clustered, right? So and then birth-giving capability like egg laying, giving birth like that. So that is quite different from what Bhagavatam explains.
No, this is a general creation. Then there's a more description of that in detail. Then we have this 4 type, Andaja, Jaraja, Swadaja. So we have this type of also explanation in different places. This is giving a very concise and summary about 10 type of creation. So 6 are by nature and 4 are by Brahma. So this is simply giving a broad description. Then the more detail is in 3rd canto, 2nd canto, and on somewhere there's a little more in a different Puranas. So this how this different time creation. Sometimes this earth is in Garbha ocean like this time. Sometimes this is coming from the west of the Supreme Lord. So this creation from different days of Brahma, there's a little difference. But this is the standard 8 type of creation, 10 type of creation. Now the next, this chapter, calculation of time from the item. It has sections, yes.
In the primary creation, that is Prakrita.
Sorry?
Prakrita creation.
Prakritas.
So in the chart which you showed in the screen, so there, I'm seeing some repetition, like 5 action senses are repeated, and then 5 knowledge senses are repeated, and even the gross elements, there is some repetition in the chart. Which
Repetition?
in the Prakrita.
In Ankara,
See, this is, here it is an ahankar included all. Because I am the false ego and mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. They are put one in a one under ahankar at one place. Then they are put separately as the ahankar and goodness and passion and ignorance. They put it separately afterwards. So I mean, so it's one category, because this is according to the verses in this chapter. This is according to the verses in this chapter. And then previously we know false ego in mode of goodness, say, comes minds and demigods. And false ego in mode of passion comes knowledge. Something like in ignorance comes the 5 elements, something like that. There's a different description which is more detailed. But this is just class. This is according to the verse. The verse 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 is like that. Yes.
And in the Indriya, the 4th type of creation, again the 5 knowledge senses and 5 action senses are mentioned in the chart.
What is that question?
again in Indriya category,
Indriya.
5 knowledge acquiring senses
And 5 working
action
senses.
again mentioned.
They are also created by false ego in either goodness or passion. So the point is, first false ego, and whatever is coming out false ego, that is given. Then there is given a description that false ego in this gave this gave this gave this. So this is just a more detailed description of the same thing. The same thing in a different description.
Like we have the demigods and mind also separate categories mentioned, so like that.
Yeah. So for encompassing the whole creation, you can have a separate seminar actually, that putting all the things together from this chapter, then there's a whole flow of the creation, how it takes from Pradhan all the way the Krishna primary, secondary. There's a separate seminar also for creation. I think somewhere I have in the, not in this chapter but separately. In earlier chapters it is there. So this is according to the verses in this chapter. These are it is described like that. Maitreya Rishi. Okay. So it's okay, we should go to the next chapter. This chapter is also sort of, numerical things, nothing, philosophical much, but only some things. So this chapter has sections 1 to 4. The time also has small and big divisions, like matter. Like matter is like Parmanu and then whole universe. You from small basic unit Parmanu to the whole universe. Similarly, the time is from the smallest to the, like time taken for the sun rays to go over 2 Parmanu, for example, and time taken from creation to dissolution. So this is the comparison. And they have their names we will come across. So, and the next verse 5 to 15 is divisions of the time. Divisions of the time, which is from, there's a different language in which we know from nimish, love matra, sadhu sangha, nimish, and then this is whole terminology coming to the ghatika, danda. So this is whole calculation is there, how many, like 60 seconds is equal to 1 minute. So then it is compared with the present calculation of the seconds. So this is the whole chart is given. And next is 16 and 17 Vidurs inquire about those who are beyond the kalpa. It means those who live beyond the day of Brahma. And now for this verse 15 to 22, duration of yuga. Because how can you tell who lives after Brahma's days? So you must know how big is Brahma's days. Therefore he is describing the different yuga, Satyug, Treta Yug, Dwapar, their duration according to the demigod years and according to the human years. And then comes 23 to 27, duration of the Manvantra, each Manu. Manvantra duration. And then the next section is discussion of the end of the Kalpa. End of the Kalpa means 1 day of Brahma. And then the last section is Brahma's lifespan for 100 years of Brahma. And now compared to this Brahma's life, which is a fraction to the breathing of Karandaksha Vishnu. Now comparing the life of Brahma to the breathing of the Karandaksha Vishnu. So significance of Brahma's lifespan and the universe as compared to the. So this is a time scale in different planetary system. So here we will go by these verses quickly. So this chapter says the 11th chapter details time as given from which one can understand the length of the month, year and yuga. So this is the whole subject of this chapter, that we know what is month, what is year and what is yuga. So Maitreya Vacha Charamaha Sadavisheshnanam Aneko Sangyutta Sada Paramanu Savigneyo Nirnam Aikya Brahmo Yata. The material manifestations, ultimate particle, which is indivisible and not found in the body, is called atom. It exists always as an invisible identity, even after the dissolution of all forms. The material body is but a combination of such items, but it is misunderstood by the common man. Maitreya said Parmanu is understood to be ultimate particle of material elements. Parmanu is an ultimate particle of material elements. There are innumerable such particles and they are always uncombined. Because of their small size, men are mistaken, identifying them with small particles they can see. Srila Prabhupada said, atomic description of Srimad Bhagavatam is almost same as the modern science of atomism. And this is further described in the Parmanu Vad of Kanad. Kanad is of 6 philosophies. Kanad is Parmanu Vad. In modern science also, the atom is accepted as the ultimate indivisible particle of which this universe is composed. Srimad Bhagavatam is full of text. Is full text of all description of knowledge, including theory of atomism. The atom is minute subtle form of eternal time. Now Prabhupada is saying this atom is a subtle time. So how it is subtle time, that we will know. Chakravarti Pad writes, finding the nature of subtle time difficult to describe. Maitreya first described the division of matter. We cannot say, how we can say the minute time? So first we describe the divisions of matter. The smallest division, charmaha, of parts, visheshanam, of the material elements, sata, is called pramanu. Why the charm is the singular, indicating only one particle when there are many? Though the particles are many, to understand about the subtle nature of time, it is appropriate to isolate one particle and the singular is used. But still the one particle should by its nature be either combined or uncombined. The verse therefore says it is not joined. The particle is understood to be parmanu. This means that it cannot be seen. Then what is size? From these particles which arise, man make a mistake concerning what constitutes a single particle. One perceives the very small particle of light which is seen in the rays of the sun shining through a lattice window and thinks there is one particle. This is what actually the time will be calculated ultimately. When light is coming from the window, we see some particles in that light. That men think it is a parmanu, but that is not parmanu. There is a three parmanu, three double parmanu, 6. It is equal to 6. Trishanu. So the words will come Trishanu. Is okay? So this is the mistake. What is the mistake of the human? They think the small particle which is seen in light is the smallest, but it's not smallest. There is no particle here. There's one particle here is another fine particle. 6th part of the light particle is parmanu. 6th part of light particle is parmanu. Men are mentioned because some small insect the size of Trishanu can see this particle. So some can see this. Next verse says, atoms are the ultimate state of manifest universe. When they stay in their own form without forming different bodies, they are called unlimited oneness. There are certainly different bodies and physical forms, but the atoms themselves form the complete manifestation. Just description. Parmanu has been described as smallest particle. Now the greatest state of the matter is described. The state of oneness, kevalyam, of the parmanu of the particles of the matter, sata, is its state previous to transformation into the condition of pralaya is called param mahan. Now we have two words. Parmanu smallest, param mahan biggest. So, parmanu to param mahan. This is about elements. Element smallest is called parmanu and the biggest is called param mahan. It is masculine to aggregate the word parmanu. How can all objects which are mutually different from various qualities become one? There is no sense of distinct qualities, avishesha, and no sense of different particles or objects, nirantaraha. It is totality of all matter, that is meaning of the Paramahan. Paramahan means like Pradhan, everything included. From the Pramanu to Pradhan is the description given. Now, next verse says, one can estimate time by measuring the moment of atomic combination of bodies. Time is the potency of Almighty Personality of Godhead Hari, who control all physical movements, although he is not visible in the physical world. So this is the definition of time. Time is a energy of the Lord, Hari, who control the physical movements of the items, which means which all this creation, the 6 type of creation, they have some limit of time in which they are created, then they stay for some time and then they disintegrate again. So this is what the time is said here. Srila Chakravarti Pad writes, time can be understood in a manner similar to the existence of very fine and very great particle of matter. What is a very fine particle of matter? And what is the great particle of matter? Paramahan. Okay. How do these extreme dimensions arise? By pervading bhutaya through the finest and greatest state of matter, samsthan, by the Shakti, the Supreme Lord, by nature unseen, avyakta, limit the whole universe, vyakta, bhuka. He then pervade it all, vibhu. Vibhu can also mean that he is skillful in matters of creation and other acts. Next verse says, atomic time is measured according to its covering a particular atomic space. That time which covers unmanifest aggregate of atom is called a great time. So time is small, which covers the some pramanu, and then the time which covers the whole from creation to dissolution. So this is the also great time. Time expand for the sun to go. Now, what is the standard of calculation of time? Sun. The calculation is sun. Okay. The time expanded from sun to go distance of one parmanu is called parmanu of time. And the time expand from one dissolution to the next is called paramman time. So parmanu and paramman, parmanu time and paramman time. Is okay? This is the language used. Srila Prabhupada writes, time and space are two correlative terms. What does space means? Parmanu and paramman. This is space. And time is Parmanu time and Paramman time. This is the language. So you can see that time and space means Param and Paramman. Time is measured in terms of its covering a certain space of item. Whose covering? Sun rays. Standard time is calculated in terms of the movement of the sun. The time covered by the sun is passing over an item is calculated as atomic time. The greatest time of all covers the entire existence of the non-dual manifestation. All the planets rotate and cover space, and space is calculated in terms of items. Each planet has its particular orbit for rotating, in which it moves without deviation, and similarly the sun has its orbit. The complete calculation of the time of creation, maintenance and dissolution measured in terms of circulation of the total planetary system. Hare Krishna, what are you discussing, Prabhu? What are you discussing? Something share with everybody?
He wants to know this Param Mahan. So from one dissolution to another, that is Brahma's one day or full lifetime?
Both. That will come in the next part. Brahma's one day, Brahma's whole life. And then it says, there is time also in the spiritual world, but it is not affecting the individuals living there and the Supreme Lord. It is there, but it has no influence. There is time there, because one breath of Karundakshay Vishnu is a whole Brahma's life. So there is a time there also. But time has no influence there, because what time has influence on the matter. Matter is born, it continues for some time, then it will deteriorate. But there's no matter in the spiritual world, though what the time will do. Now the one other difference you can see, this is a table. It is made on some day, it will last for some time, and then it will be destroyed. So matter has only three changes by time. But the ensouled matter, the matter in which there is soul, it undergoes 6 changes. There is a bit difference between the two. Only matter undergo only 3 changes. The matter in which there is soul, ensouled matter has 6 changes. Bar, grows, produced by product. Table cannot make another table. But the ensouled matter can by product, live for some time, dwindle and die. These are the 6 changes. So these are changes are by time. Who is doing all this? Time. So time has influence on matter. And since there's no existence of matter in the spiritual world, so time, what time will do there? It is there, but it has no influence. Is it okay? Now,
the time Prabhupada also mentioned it's Kali. Like Lord is enter into the each element.
Lord is
Enter into each element.
Lord is center into
Each element.
Lord is enter into the each element and exactly I'm not getting, but the time is also this energy is called Kali. Prabhupada mentioned in purport. So the time is Kali.
time is
Kali.
Kali.
Ah.
Oh, Kali. No, not Kali.
Okay.
Not Kali. It's not. It's Kal. It's not Kali.
Kal. Okay.
Kali is a superintendent of this material
Ah.
universe.
That is what we had understood, but in this purport somewhere we read.
There's no word Kali. I think it's word Kal.
Enter into each element and that energy is called Kali.
Now this is our chart which covers the whole chapter. See the chart here? It's covered the whole chapter. Okay? What is this? See here? The Vedic time, conversion factor, modern time. Okay? This is what the rest of the whole first section of this chapter is. From verse 5 to 15. So from, yes, Prabhu, give the microphone back.
The previous passage where you had marked it out in yellow, Prabhu, there was mention of space and time, right? And it also mentioned that when sun passes over a particular atom, time is calculated when sun passes over. So is that happening because planets are moving and therefore sun can pass through, or sun also has its own movement?
So sun, all planets are moving, that's what Srila Prabhupada written, and they have some of their own orbit. So then there, according to that we have different years here. The years of the sun, then the years of the moon, and the years of that 4 type of years which will come. Yes.
Because there's a mention in the same purport that sun also has its orbit, like planets. So if it has an orbit, then some movement has to be there. I'm guessing.
So what modern science says, sun moves or not? What modern science says?
It goes down to further down. Here.
Okay.
So it's
The
saying
complete collection of time is creation, maintenance, destruction measured in terms of circulation of total planetary system until the end of creation is known as Param Kal. This is difference between Parmanu Kal and Param Kal. Prabhupada writes, all the planets rotate and cover space. And space is calculated in terms of items. Each planet has its particular orbit for rotating in which it moves without deviation. And similarly, sun has its orbit. Sun has its orbit.
sun also.
Well, we know the sun god moves every day around the Mount Meru, and he has a chariot, and chariot is moving continuously, yes. Chariot is moving every day, non-stop. Okay? Now this is Somebody should read this. This is just for memorization. How many? Please take microphone and read this calculation.
Hare Krishna. One paramanu is the smallest particle. Anu is a double atom, 2 paramanus. Trasarenu, hexatom, 3 anus. Truti, time taken by sun to pass, 3 trasarenus. Its modern time is 8 divided by 13,500 seconds. Veda, 100 trutis, 8 by 135 seconds. Lava, 3 Vedas, 8 by 45 seconds. Nimesa, 3 lavas, and 8 by 15 seconds. Kshana, 3 nimeshas, 8 by 5 seconds. Kastha, 5 kshanas, 8 seconds. Laghu, 15 kastas, 2 minutes.
Yeah. This Laghu, Prabhupada in purport writes, based on Laghu is equal to 2 minutes, we calculate this division of these seconds. Laghu is equal to 2 minutes. Based on that, we divide the time and see the 8 upon 300, say whatever, is starting from this.
Nadika or Danda, 15 laghus, 30 minutes. Muhurta, 2 dandas, 1 hour. Prahara or Yama, 6 or 7 dandas, not Muhurta, 3 hours. Day plus night, 4 plus 4 praharas, 24 hours. Fortnight, 15 days and nights, 15 days. Month, 2 fortnights, 1 complete day and night for Pita planets, 30 days. Season, 2 months, 2 months. Ayana, movement of sun from the south to north, 6 months, 6 months. Year, 2 ayanas of the sun, 1 complete day and night for the demigods.
So,
12 months.
so it's for memorization. What is this? Okay, there's nothing much to discuss. Only this Pahar is sometime important for us. Krishna's pastime in a different Ashtayama Leela. What Krishna's pastime are in each 3 hours in a day, 4 para in day and 4 para in a night. And this is a whole book written by Kaviraj Goswami, Govind Leela Amrit, that describe the different pastime of Krishna in different parts of the day and night. And for our own general astrological calculation, we need to know about the Muhurta. So Muhurta, Pahar, this is something 24 minutes in generally. It's little difference between the two according to the sun or moon calendar. There's a difference. Muhurtas, therefore we have always did 2 Ekadashi and 2 Janmashtami. So this is because of the different calculation of time. So this is a standard of time calculation in this chapter. Now we are going to next topic.
This 6th chapter, 2nd verse.
Huh?
6th chapter, 2nd verse.
6th chapter.
The 2nd verse in 3rd canto.
So, time is, therefore, is the energy of the Lord and act in our own way by the direction of the Lord. This energy is called Kali.
Okay, Kali, okay. Maybe the typing mistake.
No, next, Prabhupada writes, the
Let us-
dark destructive God is generally worshipped by person in the world of darkness.
So, say Bhagavatam 3, 6,
chapter, 2nd verse.
2nd verse. काल संज्ञाम तदा देवीम, देवी लिखा पड़ा है सीधा भाई. काल को देवी की संज्ञा दी जाती है. काल की संज्ञा देवी, संज्ञा मीन्स नोन एज. बृहत शक्तिम उरु कर्मा, शी इज वेरी पावरफुल एंड कैन डू मिरेकल्स. त्रयो विशंति तत्वानां गणम युगपद आविशित. the Supreme Powerful Lord then simultaneously entered into 23 elements with the goddess Kali. His external energy, who alone emulate all the different items. So,
Here it is not said that the time has a cause.
yes. The ingredient of matter are counted as 23.
No, the energy, therefore, time, therefore is the energy.
The total material energy,
Yeah.
false ego, sound. So these are the 23 counted here. All are combined together by the influence of time and are again dissolved in the course of time. Time therefore is energy of the Lord and acts in her own way by the direction of the Lord. This energy is called Kali and represented by the dark destructive goddess, generally worshipped by the person influenced by mode of darkness or ignorance in the material existence. In the Vedic hymn, this process is described as Moola Prakrtiya Viktira Mahadyaha Prakrtihi Vikrtiyaha Saptaha Sodashkastu Vikaro Na Prakrtir Na Vikartir Purusha. The energy which acts as a material nature is a combination of 23 ingredients, is not the final source of creation. The Lord enters into the element and applies his energy, called Kali. In all other Vedic scriptures, the same principle is accepted. Brahma Samhita says, Eko api asaura chetam jagat anda kotim yachakti asti jagat anda chayat yadanta andantarista pramanu chayantristam govindamadi prasham. So, all elements, including item of matter, such manifestation of cosmic creation is innumerable, both in the universe and the individual atom. Similarly, in the ISKCON Bhagavad Gita, Atha Bhavune Tena Kim Gyaten Tavarjan Vistabhyam Idam Ekarsam Eka Ansen Jagatodat. So this Eka Ansen is a Kali. This whole thing is Kali. Okay, so the point made is, here the purpose is different. The purpose here is in 6th chapter, the purpose is to combine the things together to form something. So it is the business of external energy of the Lord, which is called Durga or Kali. And because that is the energy of the Lord which make the prison house and which put the prisoners inside. And here this Kal is in the beginning of creation. So Kal and Kali both, in this purport Kali is called Kal. So Kal is impersonal representation of Krishna. But Kali is personal representation as a shadow of Radharani. So it's energy. Is time calculated as a masculine or feminine? And in this purport is feminine. 3, 6, 2 purport, the Kal is feminine. Her, it says her. And generally Kal is masculine. So it means these are the two different functions of the time. Here Kal is described as destroying everything. There Kal is described as organizing everything. So the organizing, when Kal influenced through Kali, then it organized everything of these 23 elements. When then Kal acts as impersonal controller of the whole universal movement, then it destroys everything in due course of time. So maybe a different understanding of the Kal in a different context. So this Kali part, anyway, thank you. I think everybody is now aware of these two purports, 3, 6, 2, and then the Kal, which is, yesterday we discussed, it is impersonal aspect of Lord. It is like it separate the Lord from the material energy. Call separate the Lord from material energy. And what was the example here, sir? Analogy? Tape recorder sound separate the sound of the person from the person. So call separate the Lord from the material creation. So this is one function of the call. This is time. And that is the Lord create this material world, Maya Diksha and Prakriti, that's Kali. So Maya Diksha, there's different, I think different purpose for the same verse in a Prabhupada quotes with a different, angle of vision.
Context.
Yeah, there's a different angle of vision according to the context. Okay, thank you. So the division of the gross time is calculated as follows: 2 items make 1 double item, 3 double items make 1. This is all we have discussed. So Trishanu can be perceived. Trishanu can be perceived. It can be known as it follow after air because of its lightness. It follow after air in the rays of the sun. So this is called Trishanu. What is the evidence of the Anu? Because this is the purport for logicians. The time duration needed for the ingredient of 3 Trishanu is called Truti. This we have discussed. Srila Prabhupada writes, it's calculated that if a second is divided into this 1687.5 parts, each part is duration of the Truti. So this is just a information. Laghu is equal to 2 minutes. And now Prabhupada writes, the atomic calculation of time in terms of Vedic wisdom may be converted into the present time with this understanding. From the Laghu is 2 minutes, you can calculate the modern time. This is, Chakravarti Pad says, 6 or 7 Nadika. Why 6 or 7? Why not only 6? Why 7? Because some days are in a year, some days are more, some light are less. Therefore, this is the difference, 6 or 7. It's okay? Some days are, sometimes in Uttarayan and Dakshinayan, there's difference of day and night. Therefore, sometimes 7 and sometimes 8. Nadis is equal to Pahar or Yam. Next, this is one calculation given. Can you see this calculation here? This verse defines the length of Nadika. How we know this? By making a copper pot of this much size, making a hole with a needle of this much size, of this much length, and put in a water. The time water take to fill that part is that time. This is how the time was calculated. So this one example is given. We have seen this, some put a sand, put upside down, and that's time calculated. Similarly, this is the standard. So you want to remember, you can remember. You cannot make a hole with silver because it will be bigger than the gold. The hole has to be made by gold. How much gold? See, this verse defines the length of Nadika. Means that by which something is measured. Unmanam. Here it is referred to the copper part weight of 6 pal, which are certain ounce, Prabhupada's translation. 64 masas make 1 pal. 64 masa. 12 masa tola. Old language, you don't remember those. In our time in school, we were taught this 12 masa. Rati, masa, tola. So this was a language at that time. So it says same language. 64 masas make 1 pal, And one should make a hole in that part using a gold needle 4 finger in length and weighing 4 masas. The gunja makes 1 masa. 5 gunja makes 1 masa. Gunja mala, Krishna is wearing gunja mala, this red one color. That 5 gunja is equal to 1 masa. In olden days, the goldsmith was used to have those gunja and masas and ratti and tolnas. So this one language now. Then the time it takes for 1 prastha of water to enter the vessel and fill it, it is nadika. The weight of the vessel is more or the hole is larger, the part will sink more quickly. If the vessel is lighter, the hole is smaller, the part will sink more slowly. Thus the exact weight of the part and the size of the hole are specified. If the needle is made of silver, the same length and weight, the hole will be bigger. This is how to calculate nadika. So make this part, make the hole. Now time has gone, new things have come. Okay, we are going to the next section. This is a calculation of time. Is over. Now here we are in the next section. There are different type of year. The verse number 13 and 14, 5 years of 5 type of years. What are the 5 types? Different luminaries and planets rotate in their respective orbit of time, forming their own years as follow. Name of the year, luminary, and the earthly calculation. Samvatsar. Samvatsar is sun, rotation of the sun. And this takes 365.2.25 days. This is usually what we use. Then Parivatsar. Jupiter, Brahaspati, it takes 11.87 years. Then Vatsa, 27 constellation, this is what we say, 27 Nakstar, Rohini, Uttarashada, this is Nakstar. This take 324 days. Then Anuvatsa, moon, 327.6 days. Then Idavatsa, other constellation, except this 27, there are other constellations. It takes 360 days. So there are different years, moon year, sun year, then the Jupiter year, 27 constellation year, and the other constellation years. So this is the description given here. Now in this only one thing is this, the 13. Influential star, planets, luminaries and atoms all over the universe are rotating in their respective orbit under the direction of Supreme, represented by eternal time. The orbits are moving by the force of time. So this is not Kali doing this job here. This is the time is doing this job here. There's a difference. So I think we should do more concrete philosophical understanding of what is the use of Kali in creation and what is the use of time in creation. So we should really demarcate their function separately. This is the rotation is the function of the time, and combining the elements and running the prison house of this material world is function of the Kali. So maybe, and this both can have an energy of the Lord, one energy acting as a Kali and one energy acting as a orbit of the planets at the time. So there is some more clear concept about these two. That's what I said. When can we a separate seminar about the whole creation, encompassing second canto, third canto, all things together, to make everything very crystal clear in our understanding what comes from where. Brahma Santa's sun is I. This is Prabhupada's quoted Brahma Santa. Kala Chakra, or the orbit of the eternal time, one samvatsar. This verse, this is one only advice in this verse is, this verse explains that sun decreases the lifespan of rising and setting. Everybody's one function of the sun. Second function, the sun is situated in the circle of the planets such as moon. The constellations such as Ashwani and the stars, meaning the other constellation not included in the 27 constellation. The sun, a portion of the Lord Vibhu. The form of time, animisha, travel around the universe. But what we should do, therefore we should serve the sun, it will say somewhere. There are 5 different names for the orbit of the sun, moon, star, luminaries in the firmament, and they each have their own samvatsar. Okay, this we have done. Oh, Srila Prabhupada has given this, which is in our chart. This is the description which is in our chart. Brahma Santa from the control. Yachakshvesh savita shakta granam Raja samasta sarmurt asesha tejaha yasya agyaha brahmati sambritta kala chakra govindamadi purusham tamam vayami. Now, since there is no orbit, since there is no orbital motions of the constellation, time is measured using the moon's movement. For the 27 constellation, 12 months of 27 days makes a vatsar. We have discussed this. Only sun, how to worship, that is one thing we know. Okay. One may ask the purpose of having 5 different years, types of years. Why there are 5 different types of years? The religious acts accompanied by various calculation of year are described in this verse. The sun, a particular form of element, bhuta bhedaha, in the form of ball of fire, moves in the sky, revealing strongly in the form of time, swashaktiya, the ability of the planets to germinate. Why does it move in the sky? He increases the results, such as attainment of swarga, of those with material desires, in order to destroy confusion of men by action performed with knowledge of the correct time for those actions according to the samvatsar and other type of year. O follower of the dharma, you should offer article of worship such as arghya, balim to sun in order to set in motion 5 types of year. What is the actually what we should learn from this? Why we should know these years? 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Different time for leaving the body. That's what is in this purport. Uttarayan and Dakshinayan. So we know when the body left, by a person goes to the heavenly planet, and when he will goes to the spiritual one and never come back. This is calculated according to this time scale. So the point made here is the sun should be offered arghya every day. Therefore our old forefathers used to offer arghya in the morning to the sun, because it cut everybody's life every day. And a couple of things are here. I think we will find something more. Vidura inquiry about the lifespan of those who live beyond the kalpa of Brahma. I now understand the life duration of the resident of the Pitta element. It means the time of our planet and the Pitta lok is same. I now understand the life duration of the residents of the Pitta planet and the heavenly planet as well, because we know only 2. One is the earthly and one is the heavenly. 6 months here, 1 day there. So Pitta is same as ours, it appears. Now kindly inform me of the duration of the life of those greatly learned divine entities who are beyond the range of the Kalpa, day of Brahma. And who are they? They are Bhrigu and others. Prabhupada writes, partial dissolution of the universe takes place at the end of Brahma's day, does not affect all the planetary system, which are not affected. So Mahalok, Janlok, Taplok and Satyalok are not affected. The planets of highly learned divine entities like sages Sanak and Bhrigu, they live more than day of Brahma. These are name of the sages. Sanak and Bhrigu are not affected by the dissolution of millennium. All the planets of different types, each is controlled by the different Kala Chakra. It means there's a time, different time, calculation, different planets. Therefore, Vidur here inquire about the duration of life for other planets. So how this is described? Verse 17. Yes, Bhagavan Veda Kalasya Gatim Bhagavato Nanu Vishwam Vichakshate Dhira Yoga Radhena Chakshusha. O spiritually powerful one, you can understand the movement of the eternal time, which is the controlling form of Supreme Personality of Godhead, because you are as self-realized person as can see everything by power of mystic vision. Yoga Radhena Chakshusha. What your question was, Prabhu?
We did that in the 16th verse. Some planetary systems are not destroyed at the end of the day of Brahma. And we also understand some sages are also quite living. So we can conclude that the four Kumaras, they are not created in every day of Brahma and even the other people.
This says that, well, they were not seen. This description is of Brahma's first day of the next 50 years. Therefore, there is one purport which says when there is a half life of Brahma is over, means one product is over, maybe there is a dissolution of the higher planets also. Therefore, these living entities are not seen by Brahma, Kumara and they. They went up and they entered at that time into the belly of Vishnu along with Brahma. There's one purport is like this, that will, so every time there's no need of creating Kumara, yes. So this is the second half of Brahma's life. So he created.
Where is this purport?
It's coming soon, we will see. Oh, this is the standard calculation which is coming now. Verse 18 to 22 is Yuga, demigod years, human years. We know all this Kali Yuga, 1200 demigod years and 432,000 human years. And then the rest is very clear. This is the 4 yugas. Okay? Years of the demigods are equal to 6. This is we know all. Everybody knows this. Purport this will come. The yugas starting with Satya are calculated by multiplying 1200 by 4, 3, 2 and 1. This is calculation you can do.
Calculation में
Huh?
calculation से like human years 432,000, demigod years 1200. To divide, it comes to 360.
And why this is a explanation. There are sandhis. Each yuga has a sandhi and sandhi ans. In the beginning there is 1000, in the end also there is some portion. So because of that, there is not exactly it is coming like that. There are yuga sandhis. This is, see here, the word is in same purport. See, this is metal 4 yugas, Satya, Treta, Dwapar and Kali, described as 12,000 years of the Devatas, including Sandhya portion. Including Sandhya portion, because each yuga has first Sandhya in the beginning, which is called Sandhya, and the other part which is called Sandhya Ans. So that also time is there. How much that time is there? The Sandhya, this Prabhupada writes, Yuga Sandhya comprise of total of after mentioned 4 millennium. This is the aggregate of the above mentioned 4 millennium is 4 lakh. So Sandhya and Sandhya Ans. These are two more added. If the lifespan of Bhrigu and other beyond the Kalpa are equal to that of Brahma, in order to explain the life of Brahma, the calculation of Yuga is explained. Varishahi means by 1,000 years. Varishahi. Avadhanam here means that which is deposited. It refers to Sandhyas at the beginning and end of the Yuga. So, the duration of Satya Millennium, this is calculation you can refer. Next, Sandhya. Transition period before and after the millennium, which are few hundred years, are after mentioned as known as Yuga Sandhyas, and conjunction of the 2 millennium according to the extra astronomers. In those period, all kinds of religious activities are performed. So the period between the Sandhyas and the beginning and end of the Yuga, which are calculated in thousands of Devatas years, is called Yuga by wise. During this period, the particular dharma of the Yuga is performed. What is the particular dharma of Yuga? Satya Yuga, Pratreta, Dwapar, we know this. And these are the dharma of this Yuga. So juncture at the beginning is called Sandhya of the Yuga. And the juncture at the end is called Sandhya Ans. What is these? These are counted in hundreds of years. They are not in 1,000 years. The period between these two is called Yuga. In this Yuga, the special dharma of meditation, sacrifice, duty worship, and chanting are performed. Everybody knows this. Satya Yuga. What is the function of Satya Yuga? Dharma? Okay, this is all right. Now, in Satya Yuga, mankind properly and completely maintained the principle of religion. But in the other millennium, it's 1/4 decreasing. We know this. Satya Yuga and other Yuga. Outside the 3 planetary systems, Swarga, Martyu and Patal, the 4 Yuga multiplied by 1,000 comprise 1 day on the planet of Brahma. A similar period comprises the night of the Brahma. In these 3 planets only, not above that. He sleeps following the sleep of Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Thus the day and night of Brahma is equal to 2,000 Yuga cycles. Equal to 2 Yuga 1,000 cycles. Okay. Now, next part. Duration of Manu. Each and every Manu enjoys the life of little more than 71 set of 4 millennium. 71 times 4 yugas is 1 Manu. Vishnu Puran, there is a quotation from Vishnu Puran. So these are calculations which you make yourself.
When it is mentioned that the Manu enjoys these many 71 millenniums, what is his realization of the time? Does he feel that I have just spent 100 years, or does he feel from the human perspective I have lived so much time? What is
I don't know exactly what about Manu, but those who are living above in higher planets, they have no problem there. but they have only one anxiety. They see us that we are suffering, and they feel pity on us and compassion of us. So maybe the same thing Manu is thinking.
No, my question was the experience of time.
Experience of time for the Manus is according to their calculation.
So they will also feel I have lived short.
I think there's a one verse here which says standard time is 100 years for everybody, from Brahma to the human beings, but it is according to their planet.
So they will feel that I have lived 100 years.
That 100 years that's what one verse says, exactly like that.
But then why does Brahma say in his prayers that I live for a long duration? He is living 100 years.
100 years, but from our point of view, he's saying I have lived so much as compared to the human beings, because he is our creator, he knows our position. This is, you can think like that. In a rainy season, some insect will born in the night, they grow, they marry, and then next morning they are finished. And we think, what is their life? We never think of that. So Brahma and all, they are thinking, looking on us and thinking, oh, these are also insects. For us, our life is nothing as compared to that. And now Brahma's life is nothing when compared to the Vishnu. So this is comparative study. I was ending the chapter quickly. I thought I should go to the next chapter. Trailokyaha Vartanaha means creation of three words. Planet from Swarg down to the Patal. Yes, you have question? What is? Lomas Rishi is living for so many years. As the hairs, one hair, what is that? One day, one hair falls. Lomas Rishi's life. How miserable he may be.
He was a hairy person.
Huh?
He was a hairy person.
How long we should live, I don't know. So,
Where is the residence of
Lomas
Lomas Rishi?
Rishi is a reference. Where is reference? Anybody has idea?
He's asking the residence. Where is
Oh, where is Lomas? Oh, he has not made this. This is the explanations like that. Somebody said, well, where is Lomas? He is living under sun. He has not made a cottage. He said, no. He said, what is this small life I should make cottage? And his life is one day of Brahma, one hair goes. And he has not made a home. So why we are making all these buildings?
The question is, so
Huh?
when the universe is destroyed after 100 years, and all the universe go into the Mahavishnu, then where does he stay?
Lomas, he will go also Mahavishnu and will come again.
His life cycle also is done now then.
Yeah, Brahma goes there and comes out. So Lomas will go with. It says all the different rishis of the different planets, when there's a Mahapralaya, they all go to the Satyalok, and from Satyalok, some are going back to home and some will come back for their duty to perform. But they go to the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu at that time and sleep.
Means at that time their
And
lifespan is finished.
huh?
Their lifespan is finished and they are entering the Lord. So here Lomas Rishi's lifespan is not finished yet.
No, Brahma's lifetime is not finished. Every night he sleep, and then he will come again back. Again, the whole thing repeats again.
So when Brahma is sleeping, so one day of Brahma is finished. So he's sleeping for 12 hours. So what Lomas Rishi is doing?
What Lomas Rishi is doing?
He's not dead.
I think he should be chanting Hare Krishna. Otherwise, how can he live so long? These are such similar questions. Where is the Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyakashipu when there was no earth here? Kashyap is living high in a higher planetary system. So it means they were in a ocean of water, devastation water actually. They were swimming. So they were created in the previous kalp of the Brahma. So there are some questions like that. So where is Lomas Rishi? His age is so. Not only Lomas, some others have a very long duration of life. You have some idea yourself? about Lomas Rishi? Huh? You heard, you really want to follow Lomas and live for a long time? No? Then don't meditate on Lomas. Meditate on Krishna and go back to God. One poet, he said, my mother used to give me benediction that I should live long. But now I have to put my both hands on the earth for getting up. So why she gave me so much benediction? That every time, this is a bad, the bad thing to say somebody. So I have to every time put my hands both on the earth and rise. Why you give me such benediction to become Lomas? So I will suffer. Now duration of the end of the kalp. Duration of the end of the kalp means Brahma's day. Here is that purport, I think, somewhere. So everything becomes silent. This is the purport. What is it? Kalagni Rudra. This verse describes the situation during Brahma's night, excepting a small portion of the darkness for destroying the three worlds through the form of Kal Agni Rudra, having destroyed Bhu, Bhua and Swa, covering them with fire and other elements. The Lord also make the Jiva, ascension of the three worlds, merge into him every time. He remains silent in the scene and stopped the pastime of displaying the material realm. It was previously mentioned that Vikrama means Bhu Bhua Swa. So now the next part, which actually it is understood that the glare of the sun and moon disappear from the sphere of the three worlds, but the sun and moon themselves are not vanished. So during the night of Brahma, sun and moon, they remain, but there is no light. They remain, they are not destroyed. Destruction of the end of the kalpa. How devastation takes place due to the emanating from the mouth of Sankarshan. Thus, great sage like Bhrigu and other inhabitants of Maharlok transport themselves to Janalok, being distressed by the warmth of blazing fire which rages through the. So the next planet, which is Janalok, Maharlok. Inhabitants of Maharlok, they feel the warmth of the Sankarshan, so they go to the one more higher planet. They vacate that area. Like there's a fire, you just vacate that area, live on some other place. So this is something like for that. Next is, after the beginning of devastation, all seas overflow, hurricane, wind flow. This is what the Pralaya is called. The definition of Pralaya. How much time this will continue night? Srila Prabhupada has given the calculations. It is said that the blazing fire from mouth of Sankarshan rages for 100 years of demigods. 36,000 human years. Then for another 36,000 years there are torrents of rains, accompanied by violent winds and waves, and the seas and ocean overflow. These reactions of 72,000 years are beginning of the partial devastation of the three worlds, means Brahma's night. People forget all these devastation of the world and think themselves happy in material progress of civilization. This is called Maya, that which is not. Oh yes?
So the sea water which is mentioned in the but it is carbonic ocean water.
What say?
This
translator mentions that the seas become ferocious and no time the three worlds are full of water. So this is Garbhodak ocean water that which comes.
The material ocean waters are also overflows. These oceans also overflow. Garbhodakshai wasn't because the Sesh is below Garbhodakshai. So first that water evaporates, boil, comes up, then the other oceans also overflow. And there will be only water, inundation of water, 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 nothing else. Everything is drowned. Where is that description of 12th canto? When which Muni want to see the Paralaya? Markandeya. So there's a little glimpse of how the things happen. So you're saying this water from ocean, which ocean this water? The Supreme Lord, the Personal Godhead, lies down in the water on the seat of this water is Garbhodakshai ocean, where the Lord lies. With his eyes closed, and the inhabitants of Janalok planets offer their glorious prayers unto the Lord with folded hands at that time. So Lord is sleeping Garbhodakshai ocean. So sleeping condition of the Lord are not same. These are the difference between the sleeping condition of the Lord and the human beings. What is the difference? Our sleep. That's what Yoga Nidra is specifically mentioned, which indicate that the Lord's sleeping condition is also manifestation of internal potency. Oh, this is Lord has many expansion of Chitta Shakti, starting with Vimala. The fifth Shakti is called Yoga. She takes form of Nidra or sleep. So there's a description of these Shaktis, I think, in one of the purport, the 16 energies of the Lord. So in a one set, this is a Vimala, and fifth one is called Yoga. So this is the Yoga Shakti of the Chitta Shakti. By that, Lord Garbhodakshai Vishnu goes in Yoga Nidra. So Yoga is a internal potency, expansion of the Chitta Shakti. Living beings lives for 100 years in term of time in different planets for different entities. This is what different planet, different entities, but it's 100 for all. Those 100 years of life are not equal to in every case. The longest duration of 100 years belongs to Brahma. But although the life of Brahma is very long, it expires in course of time. Brahma is also afraid of his death, and thus he performed devotional service to the Lord, just to release himself from the cultures of the illusory energy. Animals, of course, have no sense of responsibility. But even humans who have developed a sense of responsibility, while away their valuable time without engaging in devotional service to Lord, they live merrily, unafraid of impending death. This is madness of human society. Madman has no responsibility in life. Similarly, a human being who does not develop a sense of responsibility before he dies is no better than a madman who tries to enjoy a material life happily without concern for the future. It is necessary that every human being be responsible in preparing himself for the next life, even if he has a duration of life like that of Brahma, the greatest of living creature. So life of even Brahma decays. Even Brahma fearing time. So, lifespan of Brahma now, next 33 to 37. And we know the life history of Brahma. So, Prabhupada writes, the duration of 100 years of life of Brahma already been discussed in many places. In Bhagavad Gita, 50 years of life of Brahma are already over. Now the 50th year and yet to be completed, then for the Brahma also the death is inevitable. Okay?
Here it is mentioned that every living being lives for 100 years in terms of the times in different planets or different entities. But it is also said that in different yugas, the lifespan is different. Like it is 100 years now. Earlier it was 1000.
On the same planet, the life in different yugas is also different. That's right.
Okay.
But that is also calculated at the parameter of 100 years. That 100 year in Satya Yuga is equal to 1 lakh years.
Of Kali.
That 1 year in Treta Yuga is equal to 10,000 years. Then 100 year is equal to 1,000 year in Dwapar Yuga. And that 100 years is equal to 100 years of this Yuga. So still the parameter is 100 year, but in that time that lasts that much. Right? Now this is what we have already discussed here. In the beginning of the first half of Brahma's life, there was a millennium called Brahmakalpa, wherein the Brahma appeared. So this is the appearance of Brahma, Brahmakalpa. The birth of the Vedas was simultaneously with Brahma's birth. There is some good purpose here. According to the Padma Purana, Prabhas Khanda, in the 30 days of Brahma, many kalpa take place, each as a Vara kalpa, Pitra kalpa. 30 days make 1 month of Brahma, beginning from the full moon to the disappearance of the moon. 12 such months complete 1 year. 50 years complete 1 prarabdha. And 1/2 of the duration life of the Brahma. The Sweta Varaha appearance of Lord is the first birthday of Brahma. First birthday of Brahma is Sweta Varaha Kalpa. And this month in the March, this is Chakurtipad writes, Shukal Pratipada of Chaitra month. Brahma was born on Shukla, means bright fortnight. Shukal Pratipada means first day of month of Chaitra, which means March, Prabhupada writes. So now, the millennium which followed the first Brahma millennium is known as Padmakalpa, because in that millennium the universal lotus flower grew out of the navel reservoir of the personality of Godhead Hari. So therefore it is called Padma. Why it is called Padmakalpa? Because at that time lotus grew from the Narayana. Pitrikalpa, which occurs at the every end of the first half of Brahma's life. Pitrikalpa occurs at the end of every first of Brahma's life and is also called Padmakalpa. The reason why it's called Padmakalpa is given. It is understood from this that every kalpa, a lotus which form all the planet does not appear. It appears only in some times. So every time there is not lotus and planets in the lotus. So sometimes different thing. So the purport which I wanted to tell you is, already we are late.
We'll finish this chapter. We'll complete this chapter.
Yes, sir. I wanted to really start the next chapter today. Oh, Vidur, the first day in the second half of the life is called Varaha Kalpa, during which Varaha appeared. We call Varaha Kalpa now. This is that Varaha appeared. Now here is the, I think somewhere we see the purport. This is the purport which I was telling you. This verse describes the first day in the 51st year of Brahma. Next half. In the second half of this life, the Padmakalpa, the previous day, is described in the verse such as Padamam Kalpam Atho Shrano 2:10:47. And the verse after Udapulattam Vishwam Idam 3:8:10, with the description of the lotus in one ocean of the water, the appearance of one Brahma with no one else present is described in Vilokya Tantriyatah Apashanta 2:9:7. Thus Brahma did not see Sanak and others who live for whole Brahma's life. This is your question. You can see? He could not see. This is reference from 2:9:7.
This is Brahmakalpa.
Yeah, now say, because of these verses, some have another explanation of the Padmakalpa. What is that? They said that Maharlok, Janlok, Taplok and Satyalok, which remain without being destroyed until the end of second half of his life. Until the end of second half of his life. Become covered with water at the end of first half of Brahma's life. Thus no planet or great sages are not visible to Brahma on the first day of his 51st year.
This happens only in the Parar.
Only in Pradeep happens, not other times. Because
That happens after Parar is full creation.
yeah, it appears. Those who live till the end of Brahma's life on those planets enter into Narayan, along with Brahma, during the night at the end of the first half of the Brahma's life.
So that means not at the end of life of Brahma, but also during the Parar, Brahma again enters Mahavishnu's body.
This some says, is it? Some other explanation, some says. They say that the first day is the second life of the Brahma's life. When he appears on the lotus and sees no planet, no sages, is half of Brahma's life. Is called Shvetvara or Padmakalp. As well in the next chapter it will be explained that Sanak, Marichi and other appeared from Brahma. This similar to the Brahma Kalp. That day cannot be called Brahma Kalpa, since it comes after the destruction of the Padma Kalpa. In the verse 36 of this chapter describing Padma Kalpa, the word Antecha means at the end of the first day. Thus the second day after Brahma's birth should be called Padma Kalpa. So whole description is about Padma Kalpa. The point I think we should understand, some says it's not, at Prague there is a little more devastation than the normal devastation.
No, according to this is complete devastation.
It says that everything go there and then again created. So this is only the one purport like that. Now this last section 38 to 40.
One last question. Here Narayan means Mahavishnu or Garbhodaksha?
This is Narayan. Everybody goes to the Garbhodaksha. This is still Garbhodaksha Vishnu.
Not Mahavishnu.
No, it says Narayana along with Brahma. It says Narayan. So Narayan is for all three, I think.
All three.
Yeah.
Because at the end of life of Brahma he goes into Mahavishnu, right? Because
After 100 years he goes to Mahavishnu.
Brahmand gets destroyed. But looks like during Parhar the Brahmand is not getting destroyed. So he is within the Brahmand. So my speculation is going
Everything merged into the Garbhodaksha Vishnu for a time and then it comes out. This is some says, though it's not really clear. Kalo ayam dui prardha akhyo nimisha upacharyate. These two, duration of the two parts of Brahma's lives as above mentioned is calculated to be equal to one nimisha, less than a second for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is unchanging and unlimited and the cause of all causes of the universe. Now comparing the Brahma's life to the life of Karudaksha Vishnu. Srila Prabhupada writes, great sage Maitreya has given a considerable description of the time, different dimension, beginning from the item up to the duration of life of Brahma. Now he attempts to give some idea of the time of unlimited personality of Godhead. He just gave a hint of his unlimited time by the standard of the life of Brahma. The entire duration of life of Brahma is calculated to be less than a second of Lord's time. And it is explained in the Brahma Samhita, Yasya eka nivista kala ataya, we know. And this verse which says, I worship Govinda, Supreme Person of Godhead, the cause of all causes, whose plenary portion is Mahavishnu. So this is the Mahavishnu's time. Lives only by taking shelter of the time occupied one of his breath. The impersonalists do not believe in the form of the Lord, thus they would hardly believe in the Lord sleeping. Their idea is obtained by the poor fund of knowledge. They calculate everything in terms of man's capacity. They think that the existence of the Supreme Lord is just the opposite of the active human existence. Because human being Has senses, Supreme must have no sense. Sense, he should be without sense. Because human being has a form, Lord must have no form. Formless. Because humans sleep, Lord should not sleep. Srimad Bhagvatam, how does not agree with such impersonalist? It is clearly stated here that the Supreme Lord's rest in Yoga Nidra, as previously discussed. And because he sleeps, naturally he must breathe. And the Brahma Santa confirmed this. Within his breathing period, innumerable Brahmas takes birth and die. There is a complete agreement between Bhagavatam and Brahma Santa. Eternal time is never lost along with the life of Brahma. It continues, but it has no ability to control the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because Lord is the controller of time. In the spiritual world, there is undoubtedly time, but it has no control over the activities. Time is unlimited and the spiritual world is also unlimited. Since everything there exists in the absolute plane. So there's something about the time which is still continuing in the spiritual world. Now, verse 39. The eternal time is certainly the controller of different dimensions, from that of the item up to the superdivision of the duration of Brahma's life. But nevertheless, it is controlled by the Supreme Lord. Time can control only those who are body conscious, even up to the Satyalok or other higher planets of the universe. This verse clarifies that what has been presented. Woman means the Supreme Lord. Dham Manina means those qualified for Satyalok. They also fear death. Time. Verse 40. This phenomenon material world is expanded to the diameter of 4 billion miles as combination of 8 material elements transformed into 16 further categories within and without. This is the one, 16. What are the 16 and what are the 8? 8 are 5 bhuta, 5 gross elements, mind, intelligence and falsing. These are 8. And what are the 16? 5 working senses, 5 knowledge acquiring senses, 5 tanmatra and 1 mind. So this is what is called the whole material world. And there is a covering. And each covering is 10 times bigger than the other one. Yeah. So each universe has a covering, and each covering is 7 coverings, and each is 10 times more than the previous covering. So the layers of the elements covering the universe are each 10 times thicker than the one before, and all the universe clustered together appears like atom in a huge combination. Covering of the universe are also constituted of the elements of the earth, water, fire and ether, and each is 10 times higher itself. This is simply same thing.
It's only 5 coverings. 7. Only 5 coverings.
It says 5 covering.
Because every
It will say how many coverings are there.
So there are 8 separate earth, water, fire.
Yeah.
So earth is considered to be the universe itself, and then from there water covering starts, or earth is also there. Then it will not be 7, it has to be 8.
So Srila Prabhupada writes, covering of the universe are also considered the elements earth, water, fire, air and ether, and each in 10 times thicker than the previous. The first covering of the universe is earth. First covering is earth, and it's 10 times thicker than the universe itself. So universe and then 10 times thick earth covering. If the universe is 4 billion miles in size, then the size of earthly covering of the universe is 4 billion times 10. The covering of water is 10 times greater than the earthly covering. The covering of fire is 10 times greater than watery covering. The covering of the air is 10 times greater than the fire covering. Covering of ether is 10 times greater still than that of air, and so on. Universe with the covering of the matter appears to be like an atom in comparison to covering. The universe is small and coverings are more.
So it's 5 coverings.
These are 5 coverings. We know 7.
Yeah, so mind, intelligence. But I heard ego is also covered. So are there 7 coverings or 5 or 8?
Here it says 5. We'll see if there's 7. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is therefore said to be the original cause of knowledge. Thus, the spiritual abode of Vishnu is eternal without the doubt, and it's also the abode of Mahavishnu, the origin of all manifestations. So this Brahma, this is the end of our this chapter. This is Krishna. Kampenjala Nyas, lunar year is 12 lunar month from full moon to full moon. The 16 energies are described by the Vaishnavas according to the scripture. Bhakti, Vivek and other work describe the Shaktis. The 16 principal Shaktis are Shri, Bhu, Kirti, Illa, Leela, Kanti and Vidya, 7. And the 9 others starting with Vimala. Vimala and others will be listed in the description of Maha Vaikuntha. They are Vimala, Utkrishni, Jnana, Kriya, Yoga, Prahavi, Satya and Ishana. So this Yoga Shakti is one in which Lord have a Yoga Nidra. Now the question remains, how many coverings are there? 5 or 7? So I think generally we know 7 coverings. And they are the mind and this false ego. Mind and false ego. Find this out. Find this out. Oma Krishna. Anyway, now at least we have 1 day left for the last chapter. I think this we have today just went a little fast, but it is all things to memorize. There's nothing philosophical things to discuss. So Lomas Rishi, where is Lomas Rishi, friend? Is yeah, there.
Total energy and ego.
Huh?
So the 6th canto, chapter 16, sloka 37 says, every universe is covered by 7 layers: earth, water, fire, air, sky, the total energy and false ego.
Total energy and false ego. Total energy Mahatattva.
Mind, intelligence, nahi.
False ego. And this intelligence is sometimes the Mahatattva's intelligence.
The mind also is there in Mahatattva.
Yeah, this is included in Mahatattva. So it is in 16 chapters, so it has to come again. So therefore I am saying this creation part, when you finish this whole section, then once have a complete overview of this whole creation from the 2nd canto's creation portion to the end of the 3rd canto. Put things together, you will see there's a difference. But difference is because of different days of Brahma. And there's a little difference in that. So concept we should make clear. Things may be changed, but concept should be clear. So today what we have learned is, in 10th chapter we have discussed what in 10th chapter we have discussed? Different type of creation, 10 type of creations. All 10 type of creation, 6 are Prakrit and 4 are Vaikritik. And out of the last one is both, and which is that? Kumaras. And then what are the first 6 in this chapter? Mahatattva, Ahankar, Tanmatra, senses, and then Gyan senses, working senses, and then Devta. And the Brahma's creation, there are 4. First is immovable, their characteristic 4, and their type 5, something like that. Then lower animals, lower species, they are also characteristic, how they eat and what consciousness, and then what are the different varieties of that. And then we have human beings, and then we have demigods. Then we started this chapter to calculate the time, and for that we needed space. So we started with atom, Paramanu to Parammaha, then Paramanu time to Parammaha time. And then we wanted to know the calculation of from the Paramanu till the year, up till 1 year, and then different type of years. Some Vatsar, Anuvatsar, Eda Vatsar, these are the different years. And then we discussed those who live beyond the day of Brahma, Kalpa. So Bhrigu or the Kumaras, for knowing that, we have to know the Brahma's life. For knowing Brahma's life, we have to know the different yugas. So first we understood the time of the 4 yuga and their duration in the demigod time and human time. Then we understand that the 1 day of Brahma is 14 Manu, and 1 Manu's life is 71 times 4 yuga. And then the Brahma's life, 100 years, 50 years are over. Now the first year of the next half is started, and then we have little confusing description of the Padma Kalp is the day of Brahma's birth. It means beginning of the creation. And this is the next Kalp, which is Varaha Kalp. It's called, which we now call Varaha Kalpe. This is, Brahma's. So this is the 50, say, first day of the 51 year of the Brahma, which is in progress. Now compared to the Brahma's life, when comparing to the Brahma's life to the Mahavishnu's life, it is just a fraction of second, Nimish Matra. Nimish means blinking of the eye, this much. And then there's a description of the Mahavishnu's. Mahavishnu's different. The last few verses describe the Yoga Nidra of the Mahavishnu. Coverings of the universe, and the universe, when there is annihilation, the universe, all 3 universes are annihilated. Brahma's daytime, and then same is night time. They all merge there. So this is all we have discussed. You find out the question bank, what you have to memorize, and what you have simply to just make a concept clear what it is. So tomorrow's chapter is Kumaras and other created by Brahma. So Brahma's creation tomorrow will start. I think it's a quite lengthy chapter, over 50 verses, 57 verses I think. But tomorrow we should do marathon and finish it. Okay?
What time will end?
We'll end before the sunset. I think same time we'll be able to finish by this. Hare Krishna. I'm sorry, this is all subject is like eating Karela. Neem, leaf and Karela subject. It's not Rasgulla subject.